night 63 of History Bedtime Stories in bed, in our pajamas. I want to take you back to my own personal memory. It was October 24th, 1998. I stood on Woodward Avenue with my family and we waited for 5:45 p.m., the traditional closing time of the old Hudson's store. At 5:45 p.m. that day, Hudson's department store on Woodward Avenue became the tallest and largest building ever imploded in Michigan. As the building came down, you heard this audible ugh from the thousands of people who'd gathered to watch the implosion, and it was this gut-wrenching moment of recognition that the Hudson's department store had been such a big part of all of our lives. The story of Hudson starts with a man named J.L. Hudson, Joseph Lothian Hudson, who was born in Iona, Michigan. Together with his father, he runs a little store in what was really a lumber town. During the big economic panic of 1873, his customers can't pay their bills. His dad and he have to declare bankruptcy and close the store. Around the same time, his father passes away, and J.L. Hudson is in terrible shape when he comes to Detroit. He's paid his creditors 60 cents on the dollar in bankruptcy, and he's looking to start again in the city. When he gets here, he gets a job for C.R. Marbley, which was a department store. He's doing okay, but he decides he wants to be an owner again. He wants to start out with that entrepreneurial spirit once again. And on April 2nd, 1881 at 8 a.m., the doors fling open. The store is originally located on the ground floor of the original Detroit Opera House building on Campus Martius. It is a clothier shop for men and boys, but due to the success, they're able to keep adding new departments. In 1888, just 12 years after declaring bankruptcy, J.L. Hudson has made enough that he is able to hire a detective to track down all of the creditors who he paid 60 cents on the dollar for his debt so that he can pay them back the 40% he owed plus the compound interest. He was under no legal obligation to do that. It was just something he knew in his heart he had to do to be free and clear of a previous failure. Hudson's continues to grow the company, and in 1891, he moves the company into a newly built building on Gratiot and Farmer Avenue in Detroit. As the store continues to grow, they eventually take up an entire city block, reaching from Woodward Avenue to Farmer to Gratiot to Grand River. J.L. Hudson dies in 1912, and the company is given to his four nephews, James, Joseph, Oscar, and Richard Weber. The Weber boys do a really good job of continuing to grow the company and continuing some of the values that Hudson's was built on. Anything could be returned. If you had it for years and it started failing on you, bring it on back, they'd take it. Broken merchandise that didn't live up to advertisements, all of it would be taken back at no charge. Hudson's also believed in having a lending library within the building where people could borrow books and having open spaces for people to sit and read the paper or write a letter. And in fact, Hudson's provided stationery to generations of Detroit brides who, following their wedding and registry at Hudson's for gifts, could go write their thank yous on Hudson's stationery absolutely free. They supported charities and, of course, founded the Detroit Thanksgiving Day Parade, which remains the oldest Thanksgiving Day parade in the nation. As the store continues to grow, it is eventually the second largest department store in the world at 2,124,316 square feet over 32 floors, including four sub-basements. Those basements include two basements that become the Hudson's Bargain Basement Discount Store. The building stands at 410 feet tall, making it the tallest department store in the world, and it boasts some crazy numbers. It had 5 restaurants that served 10,000 meals a day, and that was just to customers. The staff cafeteria put out another 6,000 meals a day. It had 51 passenger elevators, 17 freight elevators, 8 employee elevators, and 48 escalators to get customers hither and thither throughout the store. It was one of the first department stores in the nation to put makeup and cosmetics out front. It had its own brand of perfume and its own china patterns that brides clamored for in their wedding registries. The 49 large exterior display windows celebrated holidays, baseball pennants, and of course helped mourn things like the assassination of President Kennedy. As the store continues to grow, in 1923 on Armistice Day, they debut something they will remain famous for: the biggest American flag made at the time. It was 3,700 square feet and hung from the building on most patriotic holidays. In 1949, it's replaced with an even bigger flag, to date still the largest American flag ever made. It took 55 men to hang the flag, and once unfurled, it covered 7 stories of the building. Eventually, the flag would be donated to the Smithsonian and later respectfully destroyed once it was just unable to be displayed because of how delicate it had become. The Hudson's department store eventually sold to Marshall Field's, which sold to Macy's, which sold to Target, and today Target does own the rights to Hudson's. But this is the postcard that has been on my desk most of my career. I think for a lot of people, this glorious building holds a special place in their heart. Hudson's remains part of Macy's Corporation to this day, with the sale of Ferrero chocolates, which were originally Macy's, and the Maury salad and Canadian cheddar cheese soup remaining on the menu, as well as Mrs. Hedwig's chicken pot pie, which was first brought to Hudson's and then later transferred all the way up to Macy's today. I hope you're enjoying History Bedtime Stories, and for the chance at a whole bunch of prizes like vinyl Detroit stickers, tell us one of your favorite Hudson's memories down in the comment section below, and while you're at it, give us a like and a share. Wash your hands. We'll see you tomorrow night.